New computers are great, but my goodness, they take a lot of time to get just right. Everything you need and want to use is on your old computer already, and thus the headaches begin. The migration of the data from your old computer to the new computer, which more often than not can be a slog through the jungle rather than a nice stroll down the beach. As you know, I got this new Alienware system that I'm dying to get set up and using. But in order to do that, I need to move all my data from my old tablet notebook to the new computer. I need to move my settings. I need some applications brought across. Now, sometimes I have the disks for those applications. Sometimes I don't have the disks anymore. I need the files, all my files, my word processing, my spreadsheets, all of that stuff has to be moved across. The bookmarks that I've got, and all of my Outlook stuff, my calendar, my contacts, my email. Oh, it used to take me about a week to get comfortable on a new computer, and it was a bad week. It's a pain because I change notebooks about twice a year. But now, hopefully, it becomes an evening worth of pain instead, because Laplink to the rescue. The folks at Laplink have this program called PC Mover Essentials, which theoretically has everything I need inside the box to migrate all of my data from my old computer to my new computer in one fell swoop. What happens is you install the software on both the computers, and then you use this cable, which is an easy moving cable, to migrate all of the data from one computer to the other. It's a fairly straightforward process, but it takes a little bit of time. So here's what happens. First of all, on the new computer, we have to set it up to receive the files. So we have to tell it how it's going to be transferred. We have to say we're transferring by USB cable. It is the new computer, and then we tell it to kind of sit there and wait while we go over to the old computer and prepare all of the data. Now, on the old computer, we work our way through and we tell it that it's the old computer, and we navigate our way through till we choose how we're going to migrate the data. Now, we don't have to use this cable. We can also do it over a network. We can do it using a removable storage device, a parallel port if it's available, which is a very slow way of doing it, but we're going to choose over the USB cable as we have here. And then it creates something called a snapshot, which is basically an image of the new computer so it can determine what needs to be migrated. Once the snapshot is complete, we get into actually deciding what we're going to be migrating over. Now, we don't have to move everything over. For example, I've got Office 2003 on my old notebook, but I've pre-installed Office 2007 on my new notebook, so I'm not going to need to migrate that across. Similarly, I found my disks for Adobe Acrobat Professional, so I installed a fresh copy here. So now we can go through and we can select exactly what applications we want to move across. Now, before we do that, though, we can choose what to exclude. For example, I've got a lot of temporary garbage on this computer, internet files, backups, that kind of stuff that's sitting on this computer that isn't needed. So I'm going to exclude those from the transfer. You don't want to move old stuff across. It's like when you move house. You clean out first before you decide to move. So I'm going to exclude all those temporary files. And now what's going to happen is this is going to take a few minutes. It's kind of like add remove programs. It's going through the entire computer and determining what applications are there, and then I'm going to give me a choice to determine which ones I want to move across and which ones I want to leave. And look, here's my list. Now, one of the things that you might determine is things like my BlackBerry desktop software. I probably want to install that fresh, so I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to just go through this entire list and very carefully choose what I want to bring across and what I don't. Once I've done that, I can start the migration process, and it'll actually take 3 or 4 hours depending on how much data we have to bring across. So I'm going to finish this up. We're going to let the software do its thing, and we'll be back and see how it worked out.